in a position to receive that, because not everybody is, obviously, some people don't have that freedom. So you've got
Agree.
you've got that freedom. Yay, it's happening. I have to get rid of this. All right. So anyway, I'm grateful that you have that. I'm grateful that you have that spaciousness. And anytime anybody comes to see me, it's like I say the same thing. It just feels that certain things have to fall into place for somebody to present or somebody to receive that, right? And certainly in a group workshop, that's the intention, to get to people that can't necessarily come for a one-on-one. Hi, Zaya. Yay. You made it. You're muted. You got your microphone muted, babe.
Thank you. Good morning. Hi, Sarah.
Good morning. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Yes, this is Jen. Hello.
Hi, Jen. Welcome, Jen. So I thought I'd start today, since we're a small little posse, just to put a little opening prayer out there. And so anyone who watches this afterwards or anyone who's with us now can receive the benefits of this healing. And just want to say also, the caveat to these live streams being broadcast is that your participation is your consent to show your likeness, your image, your voice, and be broadcast. And if you have a problem with that, then hop offline. And having said that, I acknowledge that all healing comes from the divine, and that really just opening myself as a channel for that healing energy. And that is that. So go ahead and just, if you can get comfortable in your seat or wherever you're situated, to close your eyes for a moment and just drop into your body. If you've been racing around or running to get here, or still kind of thinking about what you're going to eat later or what you have to do for the rest of the day, just kind of let that soften and drift away so that you can be really present here and now in the moment. And go ahead and take 3 beautiful, slow, deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. I'm just going to start today with a little prayer. To Holy Father, Mother God, please be with these beautiful people and myself in this next period of time. I humbly ask your permission to create this virtual space as sacred, to hold these beautiful souls in a safe container of love and light, and ask your blessings for divine healing energy to come through. Ask that you guide my voice and guide my hand. Call on my team, the Legion of Light, all of my team that comes along as we work together, my spirit guides, my angels, guides, past ones, loved ones passed over, Dad, hi. Anyone, if you want to call in a loved one who's passed over, just in your mind, if you can just kind of call them in as well to be here with you, your ancestors as well. If there's any ancestral healing that you're asking for, Cecilia, since you brought that in that conversation, I feel like that's coming through as well for everybody. So just if there's any stagnations, any block, any obstructions, any challenges, any kind of binding in any way in your life, just to take a moment to let that come into your mind screen and be aware of how that's feeling and where you're holding it in your body. And you can place your hand there if it's something that's giving you discomfort or pain, or even if it's just a sensation of any kind, just to bring your focus and your attention to that area. And we're asking here, Creator, for your blessings to absolve, dissolve, and resolve any of the energetic imprints that are present for these beautiful souls, so that they can integrate these soul lessons in a graceful, beautiful, easy way in the days to follow and move forward in their lives, no longer bound. Would like to acknowledge the ancestors of this land, Spirit Haven, the aunties and uncles, the Bunjalong Nation, the Arakwal people. Ask for your blessings with greatest reverence and respect for your presence here, for your guidance. And give gratitude and thanks for allowing me to do this work here on this sacred land. Ask that the healing energy that comes through, ripples out to everybody in your sphere of influence, ripples out to your families, to your loved ones, even if you're not in right relation with them. If there's discord in your families, that this energy also assists them, your children, your grandchildren, your mothers, your fathers, your brothers, your sisters, your aunties, your uncles, and also that this healing energy filters and ripples into your homes, so that the whole house where you're living feels like it's lifted, amplified, magnified in the light. And if you can just bring your attention to your heart center and feel a beautiful, slow, gentle unwinding of any energy that you're holding in your heart that you'd like to let go of, that no longer serves you, that you'd like to release back into the source of all creation, back to Creator, God, Goddess. And in this same unwinding, you can feel that happening at your back. The heart center at the back of your body, just let it slowly unwind, and whatever unwinding is for you, whether that's clockwise or anti-clockwise, I can feel it coming out in a spiral, just drawing energy out that no longer serves. And this includes any burdens that you hold, any emotions that you're feeling for anybody that you love, any stress that you're holding financially, any stress that you're holding in your physical body. Just let that be drawn out, drawn out, drawn out, and that will continue to draw out through this session until it's fully dissipated and dissolved, resolved, absolved. And now, as that's drawing out, we start to fill that void with this beautiful golden healing energy of the sun. So just take a deep breath with me to pull and draw and absorb that golden healing energy of the sun. Where you can feel that warm all of your body through the cardiovascular system, through the arteries, into the veins, into the capillaries. This warm golden energy nurturing all of your tissues and cells as the heart moves the blood through your circulatory system and into your lungs, binding with the oxygen. Golden energy in with the in-breath, oxygenating, nourishing, nurturing, like liquid honey, all of your tissues and cells. And then with your conscious intention, you can guide it to those areas that you are feeling stagnant or stuck, anywhere that feels like it has a blockage or is needing some support and some help and some love. With your conscious intention and the spirit guidance, we're directing that to that place in your physical body. And now to the mind, if there's areas of the mind that are racing or wild or feeling on repeat or just in kind of a loop, if there's any aspects of the mind feeling negative thoughts, self-depreciating thoughts, just bringing our focus attention to those thoughts and infusing the mental aspect of your being a few inches out of your energy field with that golden light. And now take that beautiful golden light to the little girl or the little boy in you. And just send that beautiful golden, loving, nurturing, supportive, nourishing light to that little being inside of you, the child being. Just feel them receiving the love that maybe they never got or always wanted. It's warming, it's loving, it's kind, it's generous, supportive. And if there's any feelings that are surfacing of mistrust or doubt or negation, just watch them pass by and dissipate and dissolve and resolve and absolve. And now feel your feet firmly planted on the ground and just have that connection to Mother Earth. Just feel you're supported by Mother Earth, Mother of us all. And just opening the chakra centers at the bottom of your feet and drawing out and recycling any of this energy that no longer serves you. And now to the top of your head and the crown, allowing the crown chakra to open wide in a spiral, expand, the aperture opening, and this golden energy beaming into the top of your head from the crown, from the sun. And again, meeting through all of the body's tissues and cells till you're just saturated, overflowing with this golden, warm, nourishing light. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes, come back into the room. Golden beings. All these little orbs. I'm just feeling so much gratitude right now for you all. I really am. Thank you for being here. And I really feel like anytime there's focus from other people, it amplifies that energy that wants to pour through, you know. So, oh, hi, Ashton. I see you there in the unseen realms. Anyone have a request? Now's the time to ask it and we'll bring that energy through. Yes, Cecilia, how can I help you?
Thank you. Thank you. My feet. Been feeling upper feet, maybe kind of like almost like needle sharp pains.
Like tingling, numb nerve pain?
Maybe, yeah, just kind of like just all of a sudden like a pain. It just definitely almost inner top foot, like where the little bone comes out underneath your big toe. I attribute it to my work because I stand all day, but again, it's been just random and a little painful. It doesn't last long, but it does come and go.
And is it constant? Oh, no,
No.
you said it comes and goes. Okay, and scale of 1 to 10, how painful?
It'll jump from a 0 to a 7 and then back to a.
Okay, so is it debilitating when it's a 7? Like, do you have to sit down and put your feet up, or?
So quick though. It really is kind of quick.
So it's like a stabbing.
Yes, like a stabbing.
Okay, so first question is, how are the shoes that you're wearing? Do you have really good ergonomic shoes?
I thought I had good shoes, but I'm feeling like maybe I need to level up.
Second question, are you standing on any kind of rubber matting? If you're standing all day, like if it's a concrete floor, like you need some kind of rubber matting under you. That's the, cushions.
So being in retail in a store that has carpeting, wood floors, mats by the where you ring people up, but you're constantly moving and you're constantly being asked to go to different places. So you're not standing on any one thing. any, so yeah. And it's about, maybe about an 8 hour, 7.5 hours a day when I'm working.
Okay, so that's a lot for anyone to be on their feet. So there's two things that present at first. Is the first thing that would be really awesome for you to do, and it's a basic yoga pose, is you to lay flat on your back with your legs straight up the wall when you get home. If it's not possible to extend your legs, if you're tight in the hamstrings, you can put a pillow under your butt to put your legs up, and you want to be there for 10-15 minutes. It's going to drain all the blood back, and then you'll get a flush. It may amplify the sensation for a period of time when you come back to standing, or because you're inverting. Basically what you're doing is you're giving your feet and your bones and your nerves a rest by putting your feet up. You're literally putting your feet up, and it's a classic yoga pose to kind of reset. And the thing about that is it's like you're also flushing the blood through your system. So inversions are fantastic for you because they're just going to reset you. And there's even a little Iyengar stool that you can get to do it. I don't know how agile or flexible you are, but there's you can put your head in it and you tip yourself upright into a supported headstand where your head's not actually on the ground. But if that's too much, just the legs up the wall is fine because it is like a reset. The other thing that I see is, I'm going to just kind of demonstrate with my hand. So if your foot is here, these are your toes facing forward. There's an unwinding that's happening just in front of the ankle. And this is you can see it's like a anti-clockwise. And this one is anti-clockwise if you're looking at it from this direction, but it's clockwise if you're looking at it from that direction. So that's confusing, but do you see this motion that I'm doing? That's the tilt that I'm seeing in your foot, like there's a misalignment or something that wants to bring is it one foot or both?
Both.
Okay. So there's something that's happening in your ankles about the way you're standing. So you're looking to strengthen and support your ankles, and it feels like it's jamming the bones in the front of your feet. The other thing that you can do, since you're on the kind of like try different modalities and enjoy all these different treatments, is to go get yourself a reflexology session.
Ooh.
That's somebody who will press, and it can be intense, like to press all the reflexology points in your feet, top, bottom, sides, everything, and you'll be amazed at how much energy that releases. But you could definitely include that in your little bundle of self-care routine, right? Given that you're on your feet, like I remember a dear friend saying to me, whatever you do, look after your feet. And I agree. It's like the feet affects everything else, right?
Yeah.
So really take care of them, and failing going to get a reflexology session, there's also like a little, I have many, like a river stone, a soft river stone with a little nodule that you can work into your foot. And then there's tools that you can get, like a wand, that like a crystal wand or a wooden wand that looks like a finger but allows you to press in.
Oh, I have that. Yes.
Oh, you do?
Yes, I do.
So, I mean, ideally somebody would do that to you, because there's nothing like receiving it without doing it. But if you can also do it yourself, and because sometimes getting at your feet and they're really, at the bottom and things, it's tricky if you're doing it yourself. So if you have a friend who would assist you to press those points on your feet, that would be amazing. And it's particularly around the ankle. It feels a little crunchy there. It feels crunchy. So that motion that I was talking about is something that you can visualize drawing out the crunchiness. And a lot of foot rotations, like you want to work the ankles. And you can also, flexion. So you can stand on a raised, or a step actually will do it, and drop your feet down, stretching the calves.
Okay.
So So focus on the feet as something that is what you want to strengthen, balance, and also soften. Because if the thing about feet is that if you're wearing shoes, that they kind of mold to the shoe and they become like clumps, right? Versus if your feet are fluid and flowing, that they want to make contact with the earth. We're all walking around in these synthetic shoes. They want to have fluidity and suppleness like everything else. And if we're just marching around in these same shoes, that our feet turn into these solid kind of bricks, after a while. So what you're looking to do is to reclaim that fluidity, and it will happen very quickly. It does. Your feet, you'll notice how quickly your feet respond. Like anything, if you press on a tight muscle and you hold it and you breathe into it, it will soften. That's the nature of massage, right? So it's the same with the feet, same with any of the points in your feet. And then I just see that meditation that we just did, and the opening the channels, the chakras at the bottom of your feet, and drawing out the energy at the end of the day. Once you've inverted and come back, you can just draw out the excess energy. And that means if you've had a weird encounter, if you're holding stress for another person, if you've got some empathy and you couldn't do anything about it, it's not just the day-to-day running of life, it's what you're feeling. Because I feel like are you a Pisces by any chance?
No, a Leo.
Okay. A Leo. Okay, so fire Leo. So complete opposite of Pisces. So if you're drawing, I just feel like you're very empathic, right? So you've got that fluidy, watery empathy, and that you're probably taking on a lot of stuff in the store. And last but not least, if you can just mindfully kind of put yourself in a little bubble of protection before you go in each day.
Okay.
You're like a little frog in a pond in that store, and you're picking up on everybody's energy. Yeah.
And there's a lot of people, it's a resort that people walk through there, and sometimes
they dump their baggage on you left and right? So that's,
yeah.
I'm getting like ding, 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 ding. It took us a while, but we got there. So that is it. All right. You're taking on everybody else's stuff. So, yeah, that's a big one. And so just to be really mindful of that, you can actually kind of put yourself in your little shield.
Yes,
your space age shield.
Yeah.
Your science fiction mystical grade shield of protection. The psychic protection track was specifically designed for that. You can find that, or I can find it and put it in the chat or something. I don't know. And that, if you listen to that 3 times and just sit with your eyes closed, it will actually put you in a beautiful protective field of energy. And it's working with the violet flame. I don't know if you've heard of the violet flame.
Yes, I have.
Okay, so that's just allowing that, just as we did with the golden energy today, allow that to filter through all of your tissues and cells so that you're completely immersed in it, and it fills your field. It's pretty much like nothing can penetrate that, and everything like negative energy bounces off. So it doesn't mean you can't be compassionate and kind when you're working with people who are dumping their baggage on you, but you can not absorb it. Yeah. That feels like the most important piece. All the other stuff, yes, of course, that's treating the symptoms, but that feels like the source of it, is that you're taking other people's stuff on. So just, and being aware, I'm actually very sensitive to energy. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I love you so much, Sarah. Thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome. Love you too. Thank you so much for being here. Oh. Anyone else? Hi, Kathleen.
Hi, Sarah. a close co-worker is dying of breast cancer. And so this is very hard. And we've worked together for 15 years. And and in addition to the grief, I will have more to do. And so it's stressful and it's difficult, and it's sad, and as someone else said, she's woven into the fabric of our lives.
Mm.
So and she's still working.
Mm.
We're working from home, and so I just wondered if you had anything for that.
Sure. I do have a question, like how, I mean, there's various stages of dying, and is she, where is she at?
So so she had breast cancer, and this is a reoccurrence, and it's triple negative. And she was holding her own until she had a scan in April. She was having more symptoms, and she had a scan, and they said there is more cells. It's a proliferation. It's not a mass, and she's decided not to have any more chemo.
Well, yay for her to make that call, right? Like that's hugely courageous to make that call.
Yeah.
So it's spread through the lymph, and any secondaries or?
Her digestion.
Okay. But she's still working, and are you alongside her in the house, or is it she's working from home in a different house?
Yeah, we're all working from our own homes.
Okay. But you're like completely plugged in together because you're relating on a daily basis, and yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So when you say woven through the fabric of your lives, such an interesting analogy, because as you were speaking, it feels like a mesh. So if you had, there's actually a surgery where they'll implant a piece of mesh for certain when they can't patch an organ or skin or like some kind of graft, like they're trying to bring two pieces of tissue together, they'll put mesh in place, and that is what it presents as, like there's a mesh of her experience through your being. So something that would be very helpful for you is to have a way to kind of discharge and debrief with yourself. Take time every single day to feel what you need to feel and cry what you need to cry, and like discharge and off gas and release like the feelings that you're going through, because I'm sure she's going through it as well. And again, just as with Cecilia, like just to be mindful that you're not taking that on in your own body. And I'm not saying you've got cancer, I'm just saying the energy of her death is you're holding it in your tissues and cells so that you can draw that out, and we'll draw that out right now so that you can be a witness, a conscious witness, but not at the mercy of her demise, her decline, right? So you're not going to have your energy drawn down with her. And that's something to be very mindful of for anyone who's in the company of somebody who's dying, because it's very easy to get kind of sucked into that vortex with them, right? And I mean that energetically. I don't mean, you're going to die with her. I mean that like there's just that her energy is shutting down. She's made a conscious decision to go. And how courageous and brave is that, right? Like that's a huge deal to confront and make peace with your own mortality. And in that churning of her making that conscious choice, you know, that is a big whirlpool that you can get woo and just go down with her energetically. So when you come home from working with her day to day, or if you're tending to her in person or whatever interactions that you have a way to discharge that energy. It could just be hands on the earth, feet on the earth, holding a crystal, crying yourself into a pillow, whatever you need to nourish yourself through this period of time. Because as a support person, even though it's co-worker work situation, you are her support person. Just nourish yourself in that process as well, because you want your whole energetic kind of modus operandi to be turned to life, right? You're choosing life. She's choosing death. You don't want to go down the death energetic spiral. You're consciously saying, I'm alive. I need to take care of myself. I need to do things that nourish and nurture and support my existence. And with pulling that mesh out, which is happening as we speak, like just drawing it out, you know, it's all the fear and the toxicity and the disease and the energy of cancer. Pull that out of your own system so that you can be that separate entity, conscious witness to her choice, but not at the mercy of. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes.
So yeah, so then, and it's actually the most powerful way you can support her too, because you are then not immersed in her intensity. You're actually standing in a place of strength, and you're standing in a place of power to support her in the most potent, beautiful way. And that's I'm getting chills as I speak, because you're offering her something. You're effectively being a death doula, a death midwife, right? When you're separate but compassionate and not immersed, you're holding space for this person to transition out. And the other piece of that is to just all of the classic sayings about death and how it's the birth of the spirit, right? It's the death of this physical form, but it's the birth of this person's spirit. It changes, so it's like this, not this hideous, fearful, contracted, horrible thing. Actually, she's going home. You know, like, woohoo, you know, yay for her. She's made that choice. You know, like, how awesome is that? She gets to go home, you know, so you can hold it like that. And it's a completely different mindset. Completely different. Of course, you're still going to grieve because you have attachment and there's connection and there's a human being that you care about. Of course, there's going to be grief. Doesn't mean the grief is going to go away, but you can celebrate her choice. You can celebrate as she transitions. You can celebrate that you've been able to ride this wave with her, because it is going to be the most incredible gift, you being there for her. When you're in the presence of somebody who's dying, it's such a powerful time. It's just like being in the presence of somebody giving birth. It's just like, what? It's so expansive when the body dwindles and the spirit expands. So if you can be in her presence when she's on the way out, like, woohoo, there's like such magnetism in the air. It's like, you'll get drunk on being in the presence of being with someone in that place, because the body's dwindling, but the spirit's like coming out. And so there's the gift there for you to receive that presence of that being as they're transitioning. And it's so exquisite. There's nothing like it on planet Earth, right? It's a very special moment. So having said all of that, that's how you're holding this whole experience. I know Ashton, who's here with us too, she was with a friend as that whole transition happened, and it is very powerful and very beautiful, and you're honoring her choices, and like you're supporting her choices. You're supporting her in a way that probably no one else is going to be able to, because they're all like immersed in the whirlwind of grief and doom and fear and all the rest of it, right? So you're like an anchor in the sand. You're like drawing a line and you're anchoring in this really important place of strength and offering her an exquisite gift, and you receiving an exquisite gift in the process. So yeah, and of course you're going to feel a lot. You know, it's terribly, it's a lot. And when she goes in her own sweet time, whenever that will be, you know, like there's the process afterwards as well, like just to be mindful that grief can take you down. It can take you down. And you know, that whole saying of people drowning in their grief, I mean, there's a reason for that, because that's a bottomless pit, that hole, you know, it can just keep going down. You can see why people disappear into that pit and never surface, right? So and that's because you're pulled into that spiral. I recall a friend who I visited probably a week before she died of cancer, and I walked into the room and she had never had anything like what I offer as an experience, and she called me back because she enjoyed it so much. And I walked into the room and I had to like sit down because the entire room was spinning, and I saw this vortex of energy about 6 feet wide at her back, sucking her out. I was like, she's out of here. You know, it was like she was being called home. So that's something too for you to be mindful of, is like pay attention to what you're seeing around her, because there's an opportunity in that expansion of her spirit for you to become aware in a way that perhaps you hadn't had as an opportunity before. It's going to heighten your senses, and it's going to increase your ability to see and feel and experience. So it's a really beautiful gift, really beautiful gift. And get support. You know, if you need support, if you need a hug, need a teddy bear, need a hot bath, need chocolate, whatever it is you need to, you know, support you, whatever your thing is, don't beat yourself up about having some yummy things that nourish you, you know. So it's a sensitive time, and you're tender and your heart is open, and be mindful of that. Yeah.
Thank you, Sarah.
You're so welcome. And let me know how it goes. Stay in touch. And I'm happy to support too if she wants that, you know. It's like I've been there for a number of people as they've out the door in different circumstances, and it's I feel very blessed every time, you know, very, very blessed. Yeah. So thank you for your courage, thank you for your love, thank you for who you are. Yeah,
thank you. You're such a blessing, Sarah.
Back at you. Hi, Zaya.
Hi, Sarah. Hi.
Hi, George.
Hey, I'm actually pretty good. It's the most beautiful divine day today. It's glorious. So that's a pleasure. And on Monday, I see my eye care specialist, who will let me do operation or procedure that my right eye needs. And recently I've had a little bit of digestion stuff go on, so I'll just do a little bit of worming tablets to fix that on the weekend. And then I went for a skin, I'm having 2 skin cancers removed, one under my nose here and then one under my forehead here. And that's within the next 3 weeks, because they classified it as category 1 and they want to get it before it goes into my lymphs. So while I was there, they discovered one under my right breast, which I'm a bit nervous about actually, and then some on the top of my head, on my scalp on the right-hand side. So obviously I think I've had a lot of stress for quite some time, and I haven't obviously been able to get it out of me, and it's manifested in the body, or whether I was meant to get this anyway. But that's going on, and I just want to nip it all in the bud and clean up on the inside what's going on. I'm going off sugar, bread, pasta for 2 months completely,
Awesome.
utterly.
Yeah.
And just to reset, the body, I can already feel a difference with that internally, and I can see the difference in my face and how I look. So that's helping. And also, since I've seen you, I actually wrote off my other little baby car backwards and hit a tree and avoided hitting an oncoming horse float. So there's been a lot of negative energy coming at me from my family still, and from still being stalked by the people around my ex-girlfriend. That's being dealt with authorities. That's been really scary.
Stalked in, like, are you feel threatened? You feel in danger?
Well, there was a weird masked person down at the beach yesterday. I reckon my phone's being tapped, I think. And the guy that assaulted me, that the woman, she seems to be like, yesterday when I travelled to Caloundra, 3 times I saw her car and twice I saw her son. So just weird stuff. And I don't feel comfortable, and I think they want to keep me away from my ex-girlfriend, as that's how I believe it started and perpetuated. And there, I don't like it. Obviously, it has to be stopped because it's still being continued. So I reach out to the authorities, and I was told to go to the local member, and then because I didn't want to complain about the police, I want to work with the police, and then it actually is going to the police commissioner. Now, it's quite a big deal to actually even go through that, and I think that writing out the timeline, presenting the evidence will help heal me. But I'm going through all that situation. I think the skin cancers is a manifestation of the extreme stress of that. So I have reached out to my ex-girlfriend to say, hey, look, this is going on, and I'm concerned for you. I'm actually really worried about you. Nothing, I have to just continue, and like the whole thing's coming out of my hands now because authorities and important organisations are being involved, because I needed to reach out for help to pay for the eye. And so instead of living in that little baby car, I actually have been in a swag. So it's like, it's pretty, it's quite intense what's going on, but I do feel in a better place than when I was with the group and yourself last time. With all that's happening, and tomorrow I might be absolutely overwhelmed. So it just changes at the moment, but I do want to address this all in the best way. All concerned, but quite possibly this guy who I barely know is going to be charged, and I'm actually hoping that this girl who's the troublemaker, who probably geared up the guy to assault me in the first place in sideward ways, actually gets charged for stalking and threatening. So as for my ex-girlfriend, well, what to do? She got caught up in that scene, her choices. Yep.
Couple of questions.
Yes.
The one under your breast, is that, like you said, it's an area of concern? Is that because it's...
I didn't know if it was... changing.
And quickly?
Really quickly, yeah.
Okay, so is that being addressed?
They're going to do a biopsy when I get this done.
And that's happening when?
Within the next 3 weeks, I think.
Okay.
Unless I go to my skin cancer guy and say, get a biopsy done now.
Can you hasten that along? I'm not saying that to freak you out. I'm just saying that it will put your mind at ease either way, because while it's unknown, it's going to go around in your head as potential, what the heck is this?
Yes.
So it's priority to just know either way, and then you know what you're working with.
Yes.
Because I feel like the waiting is just amplifying the stress.
Yeah.
And the other thing is that can you change your phone number, like to actually physically change your phone number so that they don't have any way to contact you, and that you can put that barrier up, like that physical barrier?
Yeah, it's just that my company, which is shelved at the moment, Rock the it's just a big deal. I've always had that phone number for my career, and yes, I
Oh,
put my career on hold to do
okay.
all the legal stuff to help save my family's property and still being rorted by them. Is that yeah? I guess maybe I just need a new life, new phone, change my number.
Just to contemplate that, because like a name, there's an energy attached to a number, and like if there's ways to access you and stalk you through that phone number somehow, I don't know, that it feels kind of linked there somehow.
Yes, yes,
And then the two more things that came through as you're talking is like my focus went like a pinpoint right into the center of your chest.
yes.
So if you can just close your eyes with me, and we're just going to zero in on that pinpoint. It feels like a little seed, or almost like
Might have been the seatbelt, because I think I might have a cracked rib over on the right hand side potentially,
okay.
or internal tissues. Beg your pardon.
Do you have a cracked rib? You don't know. You might have a cracked rib.
That's what the doctor said. He said might have.
Okay. On the right hand side?
Yeah,
Okay.
but the seatbelt was on.
This
And
feels like, I'm just going to bring your attention to, so the spinal cord is here. This is in front of the spinal cord, okay? Lodged behind the lungs and in front of the spinal cord, and it like feels like a little beacon. Like if you had, I'm just going to go science fiction on us here for a moment. If you had like some kind of implant that was broadcasting beep, 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 chaos. That's, we're just gonna pull that out, okay?
thank you.
Yeah. Uh, we're just zeroing in on that, because it just feels, and it feels like not that you've actually had a physical, alien implant put into you, but it just feels like and that's the energy that I'm
I actually
receiving.
had alien interactions, beg your pardon,
Yeah.
which in the Glasshouse Mountains, and never before in my life have I seen it, but they were up there like 500 meters in the air, two of them hovering, when I was helping out in the property out there, driving a truck around at night. And I was so frightened, and I called my friend the next day and said, look, and I actually walked to the property and into the house, but I felt like my feet were kind of translucent, like I was really trying to ground. And I went and actually ate toasted sandwich to ground, and I thought I'll just go to sleep, and then I'll wake up and do do a little drive. And then I next minute it was like 6 a.m. in the morning, and this was like just before 2 a.m. But the next day I called a friend and said, oh, this happened, I was so freaked out. And she helped me and said, well, they're of another another dimension, and they can actually assist. So when they were there exactly the same time, but not so far away, the following evening, and consequently after I got the message, because I was creating a fire, stay here for 20 minutes and you'll get a download. But it was it felt like it was loving. My internal shift of terror that I had the night before being taken away, dissipated the next day. So it is actually possible that something here that you're talking about the mystery of living and dying, anything's possible.
Well, so benign presence, myself have had interactions and relations and communications, so
Okay.
there can be part of the support team. So
Yes.
fear obviously is like, this is something outside of our scope of experience, so therefore, oh my God, that's a natural response, right? But you can connect, like they've presented, you can connect, can tune in and connect and ask them to assist, because like I feel like as you're talking, there is this unraveling, and this is this expansion inside of your chest, and it's basically just an old program. And I'm talking about what you came in with karmically, ancestrally, back to the ancestors, here we go, is like that you've got some kind of program that you are surmounting, that you are surpassing, that you are releasing in this lifetime, because in retrospect, your life, there has been a lot of jolting situations and a lot of chaos, right?
Yes.
So that's
and a vortex speeding all that up, like
right.
having in between. When I see you, I almost thought, did I have a spill on me or something,
So this feels very much like the source of it, and like, yeah, if you were a space traveler, for example, and you were picking up on some help, SOS beacon, and you went to some faraway distant planet, and there's this tiny little pulsing beacon. That's what it feels like. It's literally broadcasting. It's broadcasting and attracting all this chaos. It feels like it's attracting all this chaos. So,
exactly, in me. So I've got to get rid of that.
well, we've just done that. Goodbye.
Oh,
Just in the recognizing of this energy imprint, like, it's just a matter of becoming aware. And obviously this is, fantasy, science fiction, what the heck is she talking about? But like in the realm of the quantum field, anything's possible, right? So it's just a representation, a symbolic of how your energy is presenting, of how you are living your life. It's just a symbol
understood.
of how to work with and navigate the course of your life, and removing that chip of chaos out of the program.
Yeah.
Ooh, can you just take a deep breath, like where I pointed to, like right in front of the front of the spine, behind the lungs? Just take a nice deep breath in there, because
In front of the spine.
Sure. Here's the spine, here's the lungs sitting nestled against the spine, right? And then it's like, so it's deep.
Yeah.
Behind the sternum.
Where to meet, but in there.
In there.
Right in there. Yeah.
Deeply lodged in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So breath in.
Yep. Shoo-hoo. I get like little fireworks, those spirally fireworks.
Yeah.
I see that when we do that, like little
I
wee.
do. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's front and back. You'll feel that at the back as well.
I can feel it. Something shifted now all around there, like about this much area.
Well, so I'm also getting chills, feeling like that you actually have a really strong connection to our Star Nation cousins. So,
yeah. And I've never been like this before until that experience. And I'm 52, and I like things. I'm science-based, so I really like that thing. Definitely happened, and it was in December, January, around that period of time. And it's
for people who are like, I need to see it to believe it, like you saw it, right? And for me, it's like experiencing is believing, right? When my body does what it does in response to stimuli, I'm like, okay, that's real. I mean, what is real anyway, right?
Yeah.
Real is what you believe is real. So, and yeah, I just feel like that is a whole new wave of calm available to you that you can access. So, just going to, I'm seeing like a beautiful crystal there right now. It's like now it's broadcasting like a diamond crystal kind of. It's just pulsing out, and it's pulsing out of your whole field. It's like you just got an upgrade, babe. So you got a cosmic upgrade. So now that's your beacon, that's your broadcast, that's your receptivity, that's your tuning into that dial. And I actually just I feel I feel the chaos will resolve and dissipate. I know you're not done yet with all the situations in your life that you're managing with, legal and family and all that stuff, but I feel like it will just resolve faster because you're not broadcasting this beacon of chaos.
Yes, exactly. And I really do sincerely agree and believe wholeheartedly and know, as my experience now, I have been broadcasting this thing, and it's like, how do I stop that? That's, but obviously we're meant to experience these things or whatever. That thank you, because let's broadcast light and love and goodness.
Well, I mean, that's who you are, right? That's who you are at the center of your being. So it's really just broadcasting that. It's really just changing the channel so that you can be that broadcast, so that you can emit that transmission, so that you can express yourself through your music, through your relations, through your life, so that you're broadcasting that instead of broadcasting chaos, because then you're going to attract and magnetize chaos.
Well, geez, I've been a champion at that lately.
And what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And is that thing, that little beacon, gone now, or is there something for me to, well, I was going to say latch onto or not latch onto, or is there something for me to remember?
It's that little diamond crystal. I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do an attempt to draw what I see. This is my little crap drawing, but hang on, where are we? Ooh. God, I have to get so close. Can you see that?
Yeah.
I don't know how to make that happen.
That's great.
I'll send it to you. I will send it to you, but it's like a little, it's like a crystal.
Okay.
So you can focus on that, and obviously a quartz crystal amplifies. That is an amplification device.
Yes.
Not that you have a physical device inside of you, just that, energetically, the diamond aspect of your being can transmit. Like there's a diamond in there, babe. You are a diamond. You're a diamond.
Finally.
A diamond in the rough. Like how, like that whole saying, no pressure, no diamond, and then how often diamonds are encrusted and like you don't even recognize it. Might be in a rock that you couldn't see, this magnificent jewel, so everybody's looking at you like this rock, and actually
rock and going, oh yeah, and but yes, there's more.
Well, I know it. I know who you are. I see it, but it's like, okay, now
I want other people to see that rather than what they have been seeing. That's for sure. And what's
everybody's been projecting this stuff at you, right?
Yeah, because I've been a thing, which is so strange. But anyway, that's the nature of it, isn't it? So let's admit the right stuff so that everyone can, treat me well.
I'm into that, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just it's got a very nice pulse to it now. I can feel that. So that's in the center of your being, obviously, like physical. That's what you're broadcasting.
Yes.
That is what you're broadcasting.
Lovely.
Thank you. Thanks for broadcasting your beautifulness.
Oh, thank you.
I'm gonna go. Ashton, I know you're not visible to us, but did you want to? You can write it too if you would like a focus. Now's your chance. Happy to help while we're here, so you can write it as well. And if not, that's fine too. What does that say? Okay. We had a conversation. Ashton and I had a conversation. All right. So I'm going to just, with your blessing, Ashton. So there's fractiousness in the family, and I'm going to just tune into that right now. I see that like a hand gripping on the back of your neck, like a forcible kind of controlling hand. That's how it presents. It feels like somebody's got you around the back of the neck and like you're squirming and trying to wriggle out from this controlling vice grip. So we're just going to dissipate and disappear that hand right now. Thank you, controlling, forceful hand. Goodbye. It's trying to manipulate you. Like that's what I feel, and because of the nature of your relationship, you know, that is a sensitive, you know, wanting to placate, wanting to comply, wanting to play nice, all of those things that happen in a family dynamic where you're trying to be the good guy, so to speak, and yet there's this force coming at you. Or and in this case from behind as well. So it's literally like a giant hand and you're being held up and your feet are dangling like Darth Vader in that first Star Wars movie, but from the back. And so yeah, we're dissipating that big hand, planting your feet firmly on the ground. If you can just take a deep breath in for me. This is good for anybody who's ever felt forced into a situation against their will. We'll just remove all the hands on the back of our necks. The force or control, that could be the United States of America right now. You know, it is this very dominant kind of controlling, crazy force that's driving a lot of people. So clearing that out. I think also just to be mindful that a lot of people are being driven by that fear that is in the unified field of the USA right now, like that a lot of people are just vibrating to that field of fear. So bringing you back to earth, both feet on the ground, clearing that off the back of your neck. Just take a nice deep breath into the heart center at the front for me. And placing us all in a beautiful field of protection from harm, protection from negativity, protection from attack or forces that might wish us unwell, so that we're all shielded and held in a really soft, nurturing, loving way, and that you can navigate through your life in this force field. I feel like that feels important today as well for everybody. Both feet on the ground. And if anything, I just want to say before we wrap up, if anything is as a residue for you or surfaced for you in the process of this gathering, just to allow it to draw out of your feet back into the earth to be recycled. And allow that to continue as you walk through your days in the next few days, and just know that you're in that beautiful field, and that golden energy that we called in at the beginning is going to remain with you and continue to circulate through your body. Yeah, and just close your eyes for a moment if they aren't already, and just take a beautiful deep breath in. And we're going to say thank you to angels, spirits, and guides, Creator, Great Spirit, God, Father, Mother, Father God, Mother Earth. Thank you to the ancestors of this land. Thank you to the spirits of this land. Thank you to this virtual space. May this healing benefit everybody in your sphere of influence. May this healing assist you to live in your highest and best. May you all fulfill your highest destiny. May you all be empowered to live the dream that's in your heart. May the obstacles that stand in your way to living a life that is of your choosing dissipate and dissolve. Blessed be. Mitaku yasana ho. Amen. Hallelujah. Thank you, loves.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here. And when the time is right, I'll come and do this again, maybe one day, who knows, whatever. Just get that nudge from the universe.
Yes.
Thank you, Cecilia. Thank you, Zaya. Thank you, Kathleen. Thank you, Ashton. And of course, thank you to the amazing Lisa Rose, to whom which none of this would have been possible.
Thanks,
No.
Sarah.
So much love, everyone.
Yes.
Sarah, may I
Yes.
ask you about, you said the violet flame. Is there a specific, is it something of yours that I can go and find? YouTube or Inside
You know
Timer?
what? Look up Sarah McLeod Psychic Protection.
Okay, yeah, that's
And
on
you'll-
IT, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And it's probably all over the place. But that is something, it's like a 3-minute track. It's just it's an instrumental piece that you can listen to. You
Yes.
can also, if you look up Saint Germain of the Violet Flame, there is a bazillion meditations out there that are guided meditations to visualize yourself in that protective
Perfect.
where it really
Yes.
works. And the other kind of witchy poo method of protection, if you're really in a pinch, is black pepper. If you inhale black pepper, to me, it creates this kind of vortex of energy that's very strong. So you can
I
get
like that.
essential oil or the actual pepper. You don't want to inhale it up your nose, obviously, because it might irritate you, but it's a very potent plant medicine that you can work with to create that. Like nothing's going to penetrate that. It's a conscious intention aligned with a plant medicine. Inhaling it straight into the olfactory nerve puts you in a protective field.
Lovely, lovely. Thank you.
You're
Yes.
welcome. All right, my loves, we'll be in touch. I won't be offline forever, but yeah, and Lisa will send out a word of where I'm going to be in the US. I know you're probably not in LA or San Francisco, but yeah, I'll be around.
Very close.
Yeah.
I can drive.
Awesome. All right, loves. Bye.
Oh, Lisa, thank you.
Mwah.
Sarah,
Everyone.
thank you.